Hello, I am Gunther and I will be briefly discussing urban runoff and its effects on the environment. One of the most critical components to maintaining a healthy city is to have a sewage system that has the capacity to grow and handle a city's sewage needs while being cost-effective, requiring little maintenance, and occupying minimal space. Ultimately, sewers help to keep cities healthy by diverting human waste away from the populace and then processing it so that it does not contaminate the environment and water sources, so that health hazards such as diarrhea, cholera, trachoma, typhoid, and plague are prevented. The first signs of a sewers system can be traced back to 4000 BCE in Mesopotamia, where some houses were connected by a system of clay block troughs which diverted the waste away from the homes. The main reason for the system then, though, was to help keep the odor of the human waste out of the house. Soon after, pipes and an underground network were developed, and the modern-day system has not changed much from then. Currently, most sewage systems in the world are built on a gravitational feed system so that water and sewage flow to the lowest point in the system because pumps are expensive to maintain and run. The sewage then flows to a processing plant where it is treated, and then the water is purified and discharged, and the remaining solid matter is turned into fertilizer. Before the advent of the automobile, most city streets were either dirt or cobblestone. When it rained, most of the water had an opportunity to penetrate the earth and go underground into aquifers. This meant that when it rained, large portions of earth were still getting water and able to distribute the water relatively even into the surrounding environment. When automobiles became popular, soon followed were paved impervious streets. When it rained, water flowed into storm drains that were attached to existing sewage system. This is where our problem arises, because most modern sewage systems were designed before cars even existed and water runoff was not a major concern. There was no intention of adding the addition water flow from storm water. Since pipe space under streets, in most cities, is limited, a solution to the increased water runoff was to channel the water into the sewage system. This is a very cost-effective measure since water runoff systems are only needed for a handful of days out the year. The problem is, though, that when it does rain, the sewage system gets so congested that overflow systems dump large amounts of sewer water, raw sewage and rainwater, into areas that were not designed to handle raw sewage and polluted water that comes from the runoff drains. This ultimately leads to large environmental impacts because a large volume of pollutants are entering the environment without any way of being treated first. The only viable solution to this problem is to either stop the pollutants at the source, i.e. cleaner streets, to build larger systems, or reducing the flow of storm water so that the systems do not overflow. Urban runoff is a major issue in cities that has been hidden for years and can have a disastrous effect if it is not dealt with.